Hi, it's Rodney Lopez from Dancing Classrooms, and today I'm visiting with Dancing Classrooms of Greater Richmond. I'm at the Mary Munford School here in Richmond talking to Principal Greg Muzik about why he has dancing classrooms in his school and what he sees are the benefits, both academically and as well as in social and emotional learning. I also had a chance to meet with the fifth grade teaching team and find out why they were initially resistant to having our program in their school, but how they eventually came around. Enjoy. How did your teaching team react initially when you first brought the Dancing Classrooms program to them?
That's actually an interesting story because when it was first offered to us, I went to the teachers. I have a great fifth grade team, very rigorous academic program, and they certainly have interest beyond academics, but the curriculum is pretty full, there's not a whole lot of time, and the teachers basically first year told me they were not interested. So we did not have the program. The next year, grant funding was available again. I went back to the teachers, really sort of talked them into it. I just thought it would be a great addition to what we do here, and so they agreed to try it, which we did for the year, and at the end of the year, we discovered that there would not be grant funding to bring the program back again. And the same teachers who were resistant to it went to the parent-teacher organization and begged them to pay for the program so that they could bring it back, which we've had ever since. They fit it into the academic day because they see the value. And that really is what you have to look at, is that whole concept of value added. You know, what is it you're going to do, what are you going to get as a result of that? And we feel the kids get far more out of this than the time it takes to put into it. So, I mean, that's really the bottom line, is what do you get? And you cannot always look just at the academic piece, because what they do in this program ends up improving their academic performance. And I couldn't say that I have direct data to support that, but I will just tell you that we have seen increased performance on academic standards during the years we've had this program. Whether it's directly related to this, I couldn't say. I could tell you it was, and someone would believe me. So,
is there an individual child that you can think of who has been particularly impacted by his or her experience with dancing classrooms?
You know, it's a great story, and this is one of those things that I don't know that you have direct data that supports this. We had a child that was assigned to Chris Lombardi's class who was a severely disabled student. We had him for 2 years, as a matter of fact, because we kept him for an extra year. And this child had no communication, was very disabled, and had been in a school in a self-contained class for all disabled children. And the parents really wanted him to be a part of a regular school environment, so they asked him to be placed here. He was placed with Chris Lombardi. He participated in dancing classrooms, and sometimes the teacher would have to move with him in order for him to participate. And you would see a smile on this child that you really didn't see other times. And so you could not ask him, did he like it? But it was clear that he did. And the kids then were interacting with this child who had no way of communicating with them. It was just a wonderful thing to see.
So I heard that the fifth grade team was initially resistant to having dancing classrooms in your academic program. Why was that?
We've resisted for many years because we don't want to give up our instructional time. We've been made to give it up for other programs that were deemed fabulous, and we said, and we do it, and then it wasn't fabulous and it was a waste of time. So when this was presented to us, we said, no, we cannot do it because we're not going to give up 45 minutes twice a week for 10 weeks.
Within the first class, our teaching artist, Miss Maria, she just had the kids like totally relaxed by the end of the first class. And in general, the program allows the kids, since we're switching dance partners so frequently in any one class period, it allows the kids to interact with kids that they might not normally choose to interact with, and they get to know one another better. And it's just good. I think overall it's a good team building activity.
There's, school's a situation that's sometimes hard for certain people academically or athletically. And there have been several students, I'll think of one, who was not a strong academic student, but that student found that they could dance really well or learn to dance really well. And so it impacts them down the line, because if you improve the attitude side, then the person kind of figures, well, if I did that, I could try harder at something else academic and do that well.
So what would you say to a colleague, a fellow administrator who just felt like they weren't sure this was the right program for their school?
Well, they're wrong. I would say I would like to see this program in every school.